works.
So are you muted now or not?
I am currently muted.
Alright, let me know when you...
As well.
Right. Fuck it, I'm going live. 3, 2, 1, badoop. Right, chaps, I'm now live.
Yeah, me too. Go on, you do an intro.
Righty-ho, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a Blast Pipe production / Angry Welshman production / Rail Advent stream.
Hi!
Hello.
Tonight on Blast Pipe Productions, Reese wears a hat, Michael wears a hat, and Sam wears a hat. Tonight we're going to be going through how to reskin for Train Simulator. So, first of all, you're going to need the programs that I've put in the video description. Obviously, you need Train Simulator.
I didn't put them in the video description.
Fortunately for you, I've stuck them in mine, so you can find them there. But yeah, you obviously need Train Simulator. And the programs you need are Train Sim Tools or RW Tools, depending on if you have a new version or not, which is this one here. And should look like that when you open it up. And RS Bin Tool, which should look something like this when you open it up. So, to start off with, we've got to decide what loco we're going to reskin, which we've already done in advance, but we'll walk through the process. So, first of all, I'm going to Train Sim, go on Build, and create a scenario just on something that I know loads in quickly. So, I normally use the Academy route for this.
Oh wait, we need Train Sim open for this, do we?
Yep, we need Train Sim open.
Bugger. Right, okay, that would have been useful to know.
Yeah, I did say that about 20 odd minutes ago.
I did not hear that.
You're probably too busy crying over the Doritos.
I know, I was probably dying at the time. Right, starting Train Sim.
I'm going to call this hashtag BPP reskinning tutorial. So that's going to create a scenario and load in. So, while that's loading in, I'm going to go find the folder that we need to look at. So, we need to navigate to the Train Sim directory, which I have pinned to the side here. You need to go into your assets folder,
Excellent,
and then you need to find...
Train Sim, so I'm missing all these steps.
Yep. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a chance to catch up then.
So just to explain, while Train Sim is loading up very slowly, the
Yep.
plan... Oh, apparently, Sam, you're muted on your own stream.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
Let's try turning that off. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Yeah, so tonight we're going to be making a reskin of the Austerity saddle tank. I think it's pretty much the most commonly reskinned loco in the world.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Just to check then, if anyone is watching my stream, can they hear me?
Have you got any viewers?
I have no idea.
Oh. Do you not have, like, the stream tool page or whatever it's called?
We're at the bot now.
No.
Oh, yeah, I have got some viewers apparently. Although I am also apparently still muted. Okie dokie, let's have a look at the settings here. Let's try clicking on that. There we go, that looks a bit better. I've got the mic fin flashing now. Can everybody hear me now?
Train Sim finally started. Reese Arnold is asking, are you going to put a face on the front? No, not in this one.
Hello?
It could be done, yeah, but we want to actually see how to reskin in this one.
Yeah, that's true.
I've done several videos of putting faces on.
Yeah. Matt, that's good to hear it's working now. Is the audio balance all alright for everything?
Sounds alright.
That'll do. Right, so, good evening everyone. Again. Yeah, basically we're going to go through how to reskin engines for Train Simulator. So, Reese, have you got it loaded in now?
It's just updating the scenario database and my eyes are streaming again.
Michael, have you got Train Sim loaded up? Michael?
Has he...
I think Michael has died.
This is going well.
It's going about as well as could be expected.
Right, I'm in Train Sim.
Yep.
What do I need to do now?
Create a scenario on a route that loads in quickly. I would recommend using the Train Sim Academy route. So yeah, create a scenario and load in. Once you load it in, I'll go through what we do next.
Do I have to create a scenario, or can I just use another one?
You can use an existing one if you want. But the less stuff you have to load in, the better, because it makes it a lot quicker.
I still need to update that, the patch from DTG.
Yeah.
So for those of you listening to the beautiful sound of me eating, I've got a pack of flaming hot extreme tangy cheese Doritos, which are literally setting my mouth on fire.
But he's of
Can you hear me
course
now?
still eating. Hey, we can hear you now, Michael.
we go.
Welcome back.
Discord and not having two things open at once.
Right.
Right, so you want me to load in a
Load in a
Right.
scenario.
any scenario?
I would recommend making one on the Train Sim Academy just because it's a small route and it loads in quick.
I don't think I have that. But okay.
You should have it, everyone should have it.
Where would it come under? Oh, Academy there, yeah. Not
Yep.
TS Academy.
Yeah.
There we go.
So, let us know when you both loaded in.
Loading.
Loading.
Righty-hoo. So, once we're loaded in, we need to go to his list of providers at the side, and we need to go down to Michael Whiteley. And when we've clicked on that, we need to click on the austerity. And that will enable us to place one down. So, for any other reskin, what you would do is you would look at this list and go find the thing you wanted to reskin.
Yep.
So, say for example I wanted to reskin Cornwall that's just been released by Caledonia Works. I would go find Caledonia Works and I would scroll down and there's Cornwall. So I would tick that. So, we've got us loco in now. So we can now go to the engines and tenders page and find the loco we want to reskin. Now, this is where I'm going to need help, probably from Michael, because I have an absolute bucket load of bucket reskins installed. No pun intended there.
Where do you want me to go?
If you click on, next to the big square on the left, if you click on the little train icon, so you can put a loco down.
Yeah.
Near the top of the list, there should be a load of ADV bracket
Austerities,
things.
yeah.
Yep. I reckon you've probably got about 5 or 6 of them.
I might have a few more. About 8.
About 8. So, we don't really know which one we want to select at the moment to reskin. So,
No.
we know it's going to be one of them though.
Yep.
So, what we do now, tab out of Train Sim.
Yep.
Go to our Railworks asset folder.
Yep.
And we want to then scroll down until we find Michael Whiteler. We'll then want to click on that. And we'll then want to click on austerity.
Yep.
So this should bring up a nice big list of folders. And we want to click on the rail vehicles folder.
Yep, got that.
We'll then want to click on Steam because it's Steam loco. And then it should bring up a list of folders which match up to all the different engines.
Yep.
Now, when reskinning, it's a good idea to normally do the default loco. However, there may be circumstances in which you wish to use others. The reason I say always go for default is that sometimes what developers do is they'll share texture files. So the default folder will have texture files for the entire modelling, but if the cab's the same, for example, they may share the texture files from other locos for that. So if you try editing one from another folder, you might not be able to change all the textures you want.
Yep.
So if we click in default, and then we click in engine, we've then got a load of files. If we click on the file engine.bin,
Yep.
and we open that up with Railwork Tools / Train Sim Tools.
I'm nowhere near you guys yet.
Right. Well,
So
I'll tell you what, we'll pause here.
I'm going to say I haven't got TS tools in my open with list, so how do I locate that?
Where did you install it to?
On a drive.
Yeah, you'll want to find that and you'll want to open it.
Yeah.
If you find where you installed it to, you can just open it and you can go to Files and open TS 2020 file. And if you click that, you can navigate to the spot the same way. I just have it set so that it opens them automatically just because it's a bit quicker.
Right, so mine's coming up with a runtime error.
Okay. Well, that's something new. Okie dokie, what's the error message saying?
It says component tab ctl32.ocx or one of its dependencies not correctly registered.
Okie dokie. Have you tried running it as an admin?
I'll try that. Run TS tools as admin. Format C, somebody says in my chat. Right, TS tools.
While you're having a look at that, Reese, whereabouts are you?
I've just got the Michael Whiteley ticked.
Right.
So ADV and then a whole bunch of austerities.
Yep. So, looking at the one we've got for default, the one that I want is Advanced 060ST Austerity NCB Greg Murphy, which I probably said horrifically wrong.
No, you said
but I'm not
quite
Welsh.
spot on, actually. Greg Murphy.
How about that? So,
I've now got it open. That's a good start.
that's good. So, if I then have a look down the list in Train Sim, I can go to the one which matches that, NCB Greg Murphy. If I stick that down, I can see that that's what the loco is. Now, looking at this one, this looks to be a good one to reskin. because it doesn't have any lining or anything on the textures.
Nope.
So when you have a blank loco with no lining, it's a lot easier to rework the textures than it is one that's got a load of lining on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the loco down.
Got the loco down?
Yeah.
Michael, do you want
Yep,
to let
I've
us
got it
know when
down.
you've got it down?
Yep. Got it down.
So we've all got the loco down, and we've all got train sim tools open.
We have, yeah. I have anyway.
Have you, Reese?
RW tools or RS bin tool?
RW tools.
Yeah, I'm open.
Right. So, we've now decided what loco we're going to reskin.
Yeah.
So, we need to go back to the Steam folder, which has got a list of all the stuff in File Explorer. We need to have the default folder highlighted,
Yep.
and we need to duplicate that folder, so just copy and paste it in the same place.
Right, so Michael Whiteley, austerity, rail vehicles, Steam. Where is it?
Default.
Default, just copy and paste that file there.
Yep.
Just copy and paste that whole folder. Yep. You'll then want to rename it, and you want to rename it something along the lines of what you're going to call the engine. So I'm going to call mine Castlemore number 1. Michael, Reese, if you're still not decided, I would just say call it
I've
Michael
called mine
for you.
Castlemore number 2.
Yeah, I mean, you could have gone for that. You could have gone for Rail Advent or what have you.
Yep.
So now we've cloned the folder. We don't want to touch that default folder again,
Nope.
because if we do anything in that default folder, it's just going to overwrite the original thing. So that's an absolutely vital step to doing any sort of modifications. You never, ever, ever modify the original file. You always do it on a separate one. So now we've got that cloned, we can go have a look in that folder, go back into the engine folder in that new one we've made,
Yep.
and have a look at what files we've got. So it's a bit of an odd layout here. You'd normally have a texture folder which would have all the texture files in, but here they're all just chucked in together. But we have a engine.grpcdx file,
Yep.
a engine.bin file.
Which folder are you in? The engine file, a minute.
The engine, yeah.
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 And a engine standard.bin file. The grpcdx file is the physical model shape file. So that's the file that you aren't allowed to edit. If you edit that, you're not allowed to release it. And you're not allowed to include that file with any releases. That's one of the protected files. So you've got to work around any odd texture issues or anything without touching that. So the engine.bin file and the engine standard.bin, those are both the same thing really. Because the austerities have an advanced mode and a simple mode, the engine.bin file is the advanced mode, and the engine standard.bin is the simple mode. You can edit both of those if you want. Personally, I'm going to get rid of the engine standard one and just edit the advanced one.
Okay.
So now I've deleted that.
So you're keeping just the standard version, is that right? Yeah.
Nope, just the engine
No, you're
version. I've got
deleting
rid of
it.
the standard one.
Right. You're deleting the standard version, right? That's alright.
Yep. So I'm going to click on that engine.bin and open it up with TS Tools, or RW Tools in your case, Reese.
Yeah.
And we're now at the point where we can create a new loco. So we've got several lines at the top here. which have got like name, delta string, and then ADV, O6OST, and quote austerity, and quote blah de blah. We want to select these between the arrow symbols.
Yeah.
So if you select the top line, the first one you come across, we want to just copy that between the arrow symbols. So you should have it selected from the first bracket around ADV to the end of Merthyr.
Yep.
You want to copy that. You then want to go at the top and go on the Search and Replace tab. And you then want to click on Find. You then want to paste that bit you copied into the first box that appears. And then in the second box, you want to type out what you want it to appear as under the asset list when you're looking for it in-game.
Yep.
So I want mine to appear as BPP Castlemore number 1. So type that in there, and then you're going to want to click on Replace All, and that'll flash down and that'll change all of the bits of text.
Replace all, yeah.
So you should see that flash and change them all.
And then click exit.
And then no, don't click exit, because we need to change a bit more. Yep.
Oh my god.
So we now want to scroll down until we find a second bit of text. You should see another block of text that has English, French, Italian, German, Spanish, Dutch, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Just above that, you should have a bit where it says engine name, delta string, la-di-da. And we'll want to change that to match as well, because that's... I think this is what it appears as if you try doing it as a quick drive in, rather than through the scenario editor. But seeing as there's only one line here, we can just edit it manually. So I'm going to call mine again BPP Castlemore number 1. And now that's done, we've got the joys of finding and changing all the bits which reference the folders which have the textures in. So if you scroll down a bit more, we should get a line which says geometry ID, D-type, delta string, micro whitelist, / austerity, / rail vehicles, / steam, / default, / engine, / engine geometry ID.
Hang on a minute, let me find that.
How far down did you have to scroll?
Not that far. If either of you have your mobile phones to hand, you can have a quick look at the stream and you can see it on there.
I think I've got it. If I'm comparing the same thing to you.
Let me just fire up another page on YouTube. Blast pipe. Hey, guess what, Sam? You're live right now.
How about that?
Who'd have thought it?
Right, I'm just looking at yours. Right, geometry ID.
This line here. So once you've found that line, we're going to want to select the files that we need to change. So if we flick back to the engine folder, we can see that what we need to do is we need to change all the references to the geometry files which reference the texture files. If we don't do this, we'll reskin all the textures, load it in game, and go, oh, it's just loading the old textures. Why is it doing that?
Right.
So,
Uh-huh.
first of all, we're going to go back into our reskin folder that we've just made and have a look for any geometry files. So, there's not any in the simulation folder. There is one in the engine folder. There is one in the cab folder. And there aren't any in the bogie folder, so we need to change the reference in the bin file for the engine folder and the cab folder. So
Okay.
if we go back into the TS tools, RW tools, if we select that line from Steam to engine, from the start of Steam until the end of engine, so you should have Steam/default/engine highlighted. We want to copy that bit of text again, go back into search and replace, click on find, and we want to place this in the top box again.
So
Then-
put that in the top. Yeah.
Then we want to paste it in the bottom box as well. And then in the bottom box, we want to select the bit between the two slashes where it says default.
Yeah.
And we want to replace that with what we've called the reskin folder. So I called it Castlemore number 1, so I need to rename it that. And it's absolutely vital that you rename it exactly the same as you named the folder, otherwise it just won't find it.
Yeah, I think that's done.
So once I've done that, I can click on find, and it'll go to the first one in the file, and then click on replace all, and it'll jump through and change a load of things.
Right, I think I've done that.
Yeah, I've done it.
So now we've done that, we need to do the same for cab, so we can get rid of the engine bit on the end and type out cab instead, making sure we keep that slash in place. And click find again to find the first one, and then replace all, and it'll jump through and replace everything again.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good.
And then we want to click on file and save TS whatever year you've got file.
Just save. Yeah, not save as.
Yeah, just save.
Yep, that's done.
Great, so now we go back into Train Simulator, and we click on the little play button, save changes to scenario, yes. We now want to exit the scenario, back to the main menu in Train Sim.
Yep.
And then once you've exited, you want to reload the scenario. And once you're loaded in, you want to go back into the scenario editor.
Straight back into the same scenario.
Yep.
So just out of interest, for the people watching the live stream, is any of you actually trying this alongside the live stream?
Or are you all just watching to wait until we fuck it up and laugh at us?
Most likely that's what's going to happen.
Well, we'll find out, because this is the first step to doing any reskin, which is cloning the file. So if we've all done this right, we're laughing.
Well, I've got an engine here.
When you're back in the scenario editor, you want to scroll down the list and you want to find whatever you called it in the bin file. So I called mine Castlemore number 1, so it's there on the list, which is a good sign.
Yay!
If I click that, I should be able to place that down, and you should have a engine appear.
I did a thing.
How did you get from the free roam to the scenario editor?
If you click on the pause menu and go on World Editor,
Yeah, I've got into the world editor. I'm struggling now to get to the scenario editor.
at the top, if you click on the little yellow train icon next to the paintbrush,
Oh yeah, that's it.
that'll bring you into the scenario editor.
So if this loco appears, we've done something right.
Yep.
I actually succeeded first time.
Oh, just me now, putting me under pressure now.
No pressure there.
Scottish Steam Productions, how are you live? I don't monetize anything, so that's probably why I'm live without any restrictions.
Oh, it's appeared. That's good.
Right, so we've all managed to successfully clone a loco and put it down. Yep.
Yep.
So that process, what we've just done there, is the same for any reskin, except for what you name it and the exact folders which you need to change differ depending on the loco.
Yep.
You've got to have a rummage around the files to find out exactly what you need to change, but you pick that up the more you do.
So basically,
So,
identifying that, it's
Yep.
any file is any file that has a geo file within it.
yeah.
So if it's referencing a geo, then you need to change that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do need to change it in other circumstances as well, but it depends on what you're doing exactly. You do sound swaps on engines the same way by doing that, but you just set fully audio files instead, for example. If you wanted to change the scripting on an engine, again, you do it the same way. So, right, we've cloned a loco and we've got it put down, so now we're ready to start reskinning.
Hell yeah.
Is that
So,
the easy bit or the hard bit?
what we've just done there is... Well, it's the easy bit, really. The texture editing is the hard bit, but
Excellent.
it comes with practice. The bit we've just done there is difficult at first, but once you've done it a few times, it just becomes second nature.
Yeah.
So, we want to find out which texture files we want to edit. So this is where there's a bit of variation. So, there's two methods you can use to get the texture files in an editable format. My personal preference is what I'll show you first, and then I'll show you the second method, and you can choose whichever one you prefer. So, my method I use in RWU Tools / TrainSim Tools. If you click on the Graphics Tools tab and TGPCDX / DDS Viewer, it brings up a little window.
Hang on. Wait.
Hang on, let me. I need to run TS Tools as admin again.
Sorry, I was my eyes are still streaming from eating M Doritos. So I'm back in RW Tools.
Yep.
Graphics Tools.
Yep.
TG PCDX DDS Viewer.
Yep.
Click.
It should bring up a little window.
Yeah.
So we want that should bring up a list on the side layer, which should be in your Railworks asset folder.
Yeah.
That the same for you, Michael?
It's drawn in a grey box so far.
Yep. On the left, you should be able to see a list with your Railworks asset folder in it.
Yep.
Excellent. So now we want to find the Michael Whiteley folder. So if you press M, it should jump down to the first M in the list, and then you can scroll down a bit from there.
Yep, I got that.
So we want to find Michael Whiteley, and now we want to find the reskin folder we've just made. So it was in Austerity, Rail Vehicles, Steam, and badoop, there it is. So if we click that, we'll then want to click on the engine folder, and it'll then bring up a list underneath that of all the texture files. Hang
on a minute, let me. So I've got a list in the next box, is that right?
Yep. Have you got that as well, Reese?
Sorry. Dying again. So I've got the loco selected. It shows bogies, cab, engine, and sim.
Yeah, you want the engine folder.
And good evening, James. Hope you're well.
And
Okay.
you should have a list of texture files there underneath.
Yeah.
The cab ones we don't need to worry about just yet. For this stream, we're only going to edit main 1, and then we'll just go through the full process with like one file. But I'll go through looking at the files you need to select first as well. So the curl file, you're almost never going to need to change, because that is just the curl. The cab files you probably aren't going to change, but you might if you're feeling adventurous. But the cab files are a lot more work than just the outside loco. So the first one we might want to change is the coupling rod file.
Ooh.
So if you look down and click on the coupling rod file,
Yep.
it should load up in that grey box a texture sheet.
Yeah.
Which is the texture sheet for the coupling rod. If you click on any files, and you get like a weird sort of grainy picture thing there instead of something that looks like that, you want to click on the box at the bottom which says if TGPCDX file appears covered by a grid, click here to convert to a viewable picture. And that just changes it to a format that you can view. So we've got a texture file there. It's a good idea when you do this stage to save any texture files at all that you might be interested in. Just because it's a pain to then go back and find them again to set them for later. So you want to click on File at the top and Save As with that picture selected.
Yep.
And then you need to find somewhere to save all your texture files to edit. So this folder wants to be somewhere outside of your Railworks folder, so I've got one saved at the side. Here's one I prepared earlier. So I'm going to make a new folder in here and I'm going to call it stream. And I'm going to just dump it in there. Now, something very important when doing this, if you have a look at the bottom under where it says file name, it says save as type graphics files.
Yep.
You have to specify the file format. If you don't do that, it'll just automatically save it as a JPEG with really shitty quality.
Okay.
So you need to give it a name. So I would give it a name that matches the name of the TGPCDX file. So this one was called coupling rod. So I'm going to call mine coupling rod .png and click save.
Yep. Manage that.
Do you want to give us a shout when you've managed it too, Reese?
Yeah, done.
So that's his first texture file saved.
Hooray!
So now we need to look through all this long list and find any that we might want to edit. So there's one there for the lamp. Probably don't need to touch that. Under the lamp we've got main 1. Main 1 is the one that we definitely need to do for the stream.
Yep.
So if you click on that, it should be a bit zoomed in, but if you click the little minus arrow in the top of the grey box, you can zoom out and see the full thing.
Oh yeah, got that.
So we're going to want to do the same process here. File, save as. This one I'm going to call main1.png. And it should bring up the folder you were in last, and you should have the previous thing saved in that folder as well, which you should be able to see. So that's main 1 saved too. So the then work our way down the list. We're going to want to save all of the files that say main on them underneath main 1. So, except for the NM and the NMC ones. So we want main 2, main 3, main 4, main 5, main 6. And we'll also want to save the wheels inside and the wheel outer files too.
So 2 to 6 and then inside and outer, yeah?
Yep. And each time it brings up a file, you should be able to see on the texture sheet how it corresponds to the engine. So main 1 is the water tank, main 2 is the cab and the coal bunker and the roof. Main 3 is the smoke box. Let's get that saved. Main 4, running board, buffer beams.
Right, I'm
main
done.
5.
Done all those.
Save as main 5. But yeah, like I said, it's vitally important that you save it as a PNG and not a JPEG, otherwise it'll just be shitty quality.
Yeah, I did that for all of them.
Yeah. So this is... wheel
Right, I've got them all saved.
inner... and... save as wheel... outer. Save.
Oh shit, hang
So-
on. You wanted wheels as well. Wheel inside and wheel outer.
Yep. So those should be all the files that we need to edit for it. So we now want to close off this little pick viewer window we've got. And because we know we've got the reskin properly working and we can place it down in game, we can exit out of TS tools now. That's all we needed it for.
So close that pick view, yeah?
Yep, and you can close TS tools / RW tools as well.
Yep.
So that's my method I use for getting the files out. However, that just converts it to a PNG with no form of opacity saved. So I use that method because I use a different method for artificially adding it back on, which isn't a very common way of doing it, and a lot of reskinners will frown on me for that. But it gets me results I like, so that's the method I stick with. The more conventional way is to open up RS bin tool. In RS bin tool, under file, there's a little folder icon which says open source file. You want to click on that, and that should bring up your Railworks asset folder again, although you may need to find it manually.
Yeah, I got the Railworks folder.
Yep. So you want to go back to the same place, your reskin folder. Michael Whiteley, Austerity, Rail Vehicle, Steam, some more engine. And you want to go back into that engine folder where all the texture files are.
And
we're going.
Do you pretty much just do the same thing?
Pretty much. So if you click one of the files, we'll start with a coupling rod. If you click that, it brings it up in a little window. Once it brings it up in a window, we want to click on DDS tool at the top. Export DDS data. And then if you go back to that same file, same folder where you just saved all the texture files before, and you give it a file name, I would suggest giving it again the same as the one that is in the TGPCDX one. So coupling rod. But you don't need to specify a file extension this time, just give it the name. So just coupling rod. And save, and it should say data successfully exported.
What did I name it again? Sorry.
If you're going for the coupling rod file, call it coupling rod. Just give it a name that matches the one that the TGPCDX file has. Doesn't have to be identical, but it's just so you can identify it and match it up. So once you've done that, it should pop up with a little window saying data successfully exported.
Yeah.
You then click OK, and then you do the same process again for all the other files. So the little folder, main 1, main 2, main 3, main 4, main 5, main 6, and the wheels. DDS export. And seeing as we're almost an hour into the stream so far, and we still haven't got to texture editing, you can see how reskinning is quite a time-consuming task.
Oh, yes. Right, I'm just going through these thingies and exporting them.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
Can you open multiple ones at the same time, or is that a bad idea?
Yeah, you can just open one after the other. You don't have to close it once you've opened it, just as long as you have the window you've just opened selected when you click on the export thing.
Yep. So
It'll just export whichever one you've got selected.
So you could do this method or the one that we went through earlier?
Yeah, you can do either or. The method like we're doing now is the recommended method. This is the most common one. And this is how you preserve all the original stuff a lot better. If you do it my way, you've got to do a lot more work to make it look good.
Only professionals should do it then.
Well, yeah, either that or, well, yeah, let's go for that, only professionals.
Yeah. Not to blow your trumpet or anything.
So, once we've gone through all them, we are now ready to start editing the textures.
Oh my god.
Whoop whoop. So, this is where you want to use any texture editor of choice, as long as it can open and save DDS files.
I won't be a minute. Just got the cab mains. Which one do we need? Coupling rod. Coupling rod.
So while you're doing that, Michael, I've just pulled up the folder I've saved all into, and you can see like I've got all the files there. But if you have a look at the previews of them, you can see like they all look different. So if I look at the coupling rod as an example, if I look at the PNG, it's got the full black background and all that lot. But if I look at the DDS, it looks a bit weird and transparent.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm seeing that a bit now. Yeah.
this is why you normally do the DDS method and not the PNG method.
Right. So I've got them all now, I think.
Right, so we agreed for this stream, because of the time it's going to take, we're only going to edit the tank file.
Yeah.
But you have all the others there to edit at your leisure. So, I've got both of these to open up with Paint.net by default, so this may differ depending on what you two want to use. But if I open up both of these, the main one, the DDS, and the PNG, you can immediately see a huge difference in what the files look like when you open them. So the PNG is this one here with a flat black background, and you can see everything on it quite clearly. Whereas the DDS, you can't really see that much on it. It doesn't make too much sense.
Which one should I open if I'm using GIMP?
If you're using GIMP, the DDS might be alright. It may not have the same weird thing that it will show in Paint.net. But if you open them both, with the PNG file, you should be able to see like no transparency on it at all. Whereas with the DDS file, you should be able to see all the transparency on it. So
won't be a minute.
Once you get onto this bit, this is kind of where I've got to leave you to your own devices a bit. But I'm just gonna add a new layer on here and just demonstrate that the file is actually the same. So if I click on that.
Okay, I've got the weird looking file like you've got there.
Yep.
What do I do with that now?
Reskin it.
Excellent.
There you are, off you go. This is where you've got to get your head around a texture editor, which is why I said use whichever one you want, really. It's entirely up to you. If you use the PNG, it's easier to see what you're doing for editing it, but you lose all the original transparencies. So personally what I like to do is I like to reskin the PNG file on a new layer on top of it, just so that I can then see what I'm doing better. But then once you've done that, you can paste that onto the original DDS file, put that over the top, and it acts like an overlay.
Yep.
So it's up to you now, really. I would recommend using the PNG to start with, just because it's a bit easier to see what you're doing. But just edit the texture file. This is where you create your livery and make it how you want it to look.
Right, sounds simple.
Yeah, it's easy peasy. Now, whilst you're doing that, I'm going to copy over all the texture files that I prepared earlier. So, where did I save them all?
Okay, this is where I basically prove how much of a boomer I am and say I have no idea what I'm doing.
Do you know how to use GIMP?
Not particularly.
Well, it's a great time to learn!
Oh god. Paintbrush. I don't even know how to choose the colour. Let's get a pink. Go on. Bright pink.
So, you want to have a look at the texture file and try and work out what everything on it does.
So it looks like we've got a smoke box and then a couple of lids. Not the smoke box, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, we've got the green bit at the top left, I think, is the dome.
Yeah.
The green bit at the bottom right is the water tank. The green bit at the bottom left is the water tank front.
Yeah.
And then the circle next to that is the water cap.
Yeah. And then there's some other things around.
Yeah, there's some other things which we don't really need to worry about.
I literally feel like I'm vandalizing a loco right now. Oh my god, this is gonna go so badly.
So, for anyone watching my stream, you can ignore everything I'm doing here. Basically, I spent this afternoon creating some texture files for the rest of this reskin just so I could have a finished fin.
So I apologise for everybody watching the live stream, but I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing at this point.
Yeah, this is, as I said earlier, this is a bit where it's tricky because this is where you've got to get your head around a texture editor. But if you want a fun fact, I started this out in Microsoft Train Simulator. And I started editing it in Microsoft Paint.
Oh god, that must have been horrendous.
It was. I had to edit everything literally by every individual pixel.
Oh.
So if we fill something in red, for example, what happens if you go over the blacks, over the edge?
Over the edge of the image?
Yeah, you know where it like disappears into blackness. Say around the water tank.
Ah, right. You mean if you're editing the DDS? Or
I'm
PNG?
doing the PNG, yeah.
Right. Where it fades into blackness, nothing will happen.
Right.
If the background is totally black, then it probably means that it's empty space on the texture sheet.
Okay.
It's not always the case, but it's usually the case. So the trick is you want to try and keep in the lines of the shape. But if you overrun a little bit, it doesn't really matter.
I can't see Reese's stream, but I can imagine what's happening.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
painting it pink.
I'm gonna have a go at quickly getting this reskin. See, this is a bit that'll take the bulk of the time now. So I'm going to go edit my files that I prepared earlier, which I've cheated a bit with and upscaled and done lots of funky stuff with.
Check you out.
Yeah.
No beginner over here.
So while you two are, were in absolute agony trying to get your head around what you're doing, I'm going to sit here and silently judge you.
I was going to say, you can now watch everybody.
Yeah, I'm going to get mine reskinned first, and then I'm going to watch you. And laugh, maybe.
Secretly heads off to see how he does it.
Well, you're welcome to watch if you want.
I've got you on the other screen, so...
Right, so that's my red colour I've got selected. First things first, I'm going to sort out the lining. Which file did I have that one on? I had that higher up. I think that was the one I used for that.
That looks like a cab roof to me. I want a different colour for that. White. Royal white.
Oh my god.
The issue is he's already onto the cab.
But speed doesn't necessarily mean quality. In fact, in reskinning, it's often the other way around.
Oh, I've changed my brush. That's better. I got a square brush now.
Can you have a square brush on paint on it, Sam, or not? No, I don't think you can.
I don't think so, no. But you can do like rectangular selects and stuff like that, and then just block it in.
Oh, we could do that.
So, for example, for the water tank, you could just, because it's almost a rectangle in shape, you could just select the whole thing if you're watching my stream, and then you could just block it in one colour.
Cool, let's try that. That might speed it up.
There's a lot of people already saying this reskin that I'm doing is the most beautiful reskin in the history of reskin.
Reese, why do I get the feeling that's a lie?
Because it probably is. I think I'm actually quite proud. I've gone full royal white on the roof.
Yeah, wait till you stick that in game. Train Sim really likes it when you use a bright, vibrant colour in game.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
This is a bit I've been dreading.
What?
The issue is you dread it.
Waiting for us to catch up.
Nope. Reskinning the water tank because it's on a curve. See, this is what happens when you spend too much time doing it. You do all your fancy lining and that, but you want it to look good. And that means a lot of pissing around with it.
I'm actually going to attempt some lining after.
Oh lord. Well, it should be entertaining.
I mean, I'm not expecting to be very good on my first go.
Well, it's like me and Ben said, it's you are not expected to do well on your first go reskinning. It just doesn't happen. No one ever creates a masterpiece on the first go.
I don't know, I think a lot of people want to download this already.
Reese, are you going to have an angry mob outside your house trying to lynch you?
Probably. At least I'm assuming that this is the cab roof anyway.
Now, you raise an interesting point there, because this is something that happens a lot when reskinning. You've got to kind of look at it and go, well, I think that's this, or I think that's that. Whether it actually is or not.
It looks like the cab roof.
So yeah, Michael's at a bit of an advantage here because he's using paint.net as well, so he can see how I'm doing it. And just copy.
Or I'm at a disadvantage because I can see what I'm doing and what you're doing and comparing them.
Yeah, that too.
Oh no, that's a cab plate, that.
Cab plate, what?
It's the front of the cab. Ooh, I need
Oh,
to...
are you looking at... What are you looking at? Wait, have you moved on to another file already?
No.
Oh god.
I
Reese,
haven't.
what?
I haven't moved into another... Oh god, wait.
It was never in the right one to start with.
Have I literally got to do this pixel by pixel? Well, this is potato.
So, are you doing solid colour there, Sam?
More or less, yeah. I'll go back and tweak it later, but the way I work is that I do solid colour first,
Yeah.
and then I make it look pretty after. But the general rule is you shouldn't really try and go for solid colour straight from the off.
You're breaking a lot of rules here.
Yeah, I do break a lot of rules, but that's why my reskins are so beautiful and unique.
Life lesson with Sam. Sam doing currently solid red at the minute.
No, he isn't.
I mean, I am.
Yeah, about that looks right.
Are we actually going to see these in-game tonight?
We'll see the first texture file that we're editing now, yeah.
Excellent.
But that's why I said we're only going to do one file, just because it'll take that long.
Yeah, I'd rather learn how to do one than try and rush it all.
Yeah. And of course it then means that you can go back and finish it in your own time.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of homework from Sam.
Yep.
So, I didn't sign up for homework.
You have now.
God,
Welcome back to school, Reese.
I haven't been in school for the best part of 20 years.
Well, there's no better time to return.
I heard a little bit of a hesitation while I tried to work out how long ago it was.
Yeah, well, he's getting old now, you see.
Oh, you're so funny.
Joys of being the youngest of the group is that I can make those jokes. But I am also 21 now, so I'm like, yeah.
Matt's just arrived and says, "Evening, ladies."
Well, it's appropriate for you two, isn't it? I mean...
I don't mind, I'm quite comfortable with it. Oh god, St. Gloriana Gaming Channel is on. He's come to judge our reskins.
Oh, good.
Speak for yourselves.
Great, I'm being taught how to reskin by a professional reskinner, and now I'm being judged by a professional reskinner. Literally attempt number 1, and it's going horribly.
Yeah, but
He was doing well.
like you said, Reese, it's attempt number 1.
Well, I'm giving it a go.
Attempt number 1 is never good.
I am going to attempt some form of lining as well.
Ooh, that's brave.
What colour lining would go with a pink livery?
White. White
lining?
and black. Should go for rainbows.
Oh, I wish I could do rainbow colours.
You can if you're, devoted enough.
Well, I don't know the software well enough, I think.
Yeah.
Have you ever used GIMP before?
I have, but not really for anything like this. I use it for making the thumbnails for my YouTube videos. Oh, this is beautiful.
We're reskinning the austerity map. Maybe not very well, but we're doing it.
Speak for yourselves.
Unfortunately, Sam started about a couple of hours ago, so he's got a head start.
I'm gonna release this reskin. I'm gonna charge £29.99 to download it.
I think you should do it.
Hell yeah!
But yeah, on a serious note, if you do actually want to release them, give us a shout and.
I really don't think you want this on your channel.
Oh, on the contrary, Reese, think of the publicity.
Oh god, yeah.
Reese, the angry Welshman's terrible pink austerity. Think of the downloads.
Oh, it would be insane. I'm trying to figure out how to just draw lines.
Slowly. Pixel by pixel.
But I don't want to do it pixel by pixel. I was like freehand pencil, but there's no just ability to draw lines.
Freehand pencil.
I don't want to use a pencil. Right. Fine, geez, using a pencil.
I'm half done blocking out the red.
That's good.
It's time to do some form of lining.
Oh my lord. You know, I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing this, Reese.
This can only go well.
No, it can't.
It's already gone to shit.
I gave you all that notice to give you a chance to think of something too. Bugger, I didn't mean to do that.
Of course, I'm lining out the tank of this loco. I'm assuming that it's the right place. I don't even know.
Well, do you have something that looks like a tank?
It looks like a tank, yeah.
What kind of tank?
Are you editing main 1?
Main 1, yeah.
It is in the right place then.
Yeah, I'm just confused about the bit where he said it looked like a cab.
Yeah, there's like the front plate of the cab. Or the back plate.
The cab is on main 2.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I'm editing main 2.
Ah, well. It doesn't matter, Reese. You can still edit that. The whole point was that we just had one file to edit, rather.
Right, so all that was a waste of time then.
No, it wasn't.
Right, let's
You
go
can edit main 2. I'll teach you how to import that one back in. It doesn't matter which file you edited, just as long as you only did one. Just because we're not going to have time to do more than that.
Alright, I've completely screwed this up then. Let's get rid of that a sec, right. Delete layer. I need main 1. No, main 2.png. Where's PNG? PNG. Let's import that. And it's completely different underneath. Of course it is.
Oh, well, that was bad. That was
Sam,
too far.
it's all gone to shit for me.
I mean, it's probably not going much better for me, but I suppose at least I'm editing the right image.
Oh, always look on the bright side, eh?
Do you know what? Main 2, I'm just gonna go with it and see what happens.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you'll need to reskin it anyway, so it doesn't matter if you do it now or later.
I mean, it's not very particularly straight, is this colouring, but we'll go with it. Whoops. That was a big black line across the water tank that I didn't need.
It's fine, it'll buff out.
So for anyone watching this, don't really follow my advice for reskinning because I've just completely messed it up.
Like I said, getting your head around the texture editor. Yeah, getting your head around the texture editor is the difficult bit. And it does take a lot of time in getting used to.
I'm intrigued to see how this comes out now.
I think everyone is.
Have you seen it, Sam?
Not yet. I'm gonna get mine finished and then I'm gonna flick over and have a look and a laugh.
I'm more intrigued to see what yours looks like than mine.
It has literally gone to shit.
Oh, do you know what?
I'm lining the cab roof now.
Do you know what? Let's have a look on the stream. Let's go for Angry Welshman Productions.
I'm guessing all these cutouts need to... Oh, obviously, if it's a circle, then that's not straight, but all these have straight edges, don't they?
Yeah. Oh my god, Reese.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Okay, so that bit you've just done there is the cab. Oh my god, what's the smiley face for?
I don't know, I just gave up at that point, Sam.
Well, right, Reese. What? Do you want some help here, Reese?
Oh my god.
Right.
Oh
Right.
dear.
Reese, I'm gonna have to help you here. You're gonna have to start again, mate.
Oh.
What you've done there is you've got main 1 and main 2 open at once.
There's only main 2, look.
No, that's main 1 and main 2.
Stay on Reese's stream a minute. I'll show everyone else what I can see.
How can you
Yeah.
how can you tell?
I can tell by the shapes you've got there. So go back to your folder where you've got your files. I'd recommend you try using one of the PNG files just to make sure. So click on that main one and open that with your GIMP.
I also noticed Reese has forgotten
Yeah.
about the tiny holes in the tank.
Right, that looks like you've just got main one. No, you've got that back again. Right, start a new file. Just start again. Burn it, Reese. Burn it. Start a new file. Right, you can open that up in that new file now.
It's nice to see there's someone doing as bad as me here. That's it.
I'm genuinely gutted that I can't continue with that.
Right, Reese. You can start again now from scratch. You're on the right file now.
Right, okay.
We should see these tonight, Matt, hopefully.
Yeah. So I would now suggest, Reese, that you have a look at all the stuff there and have a go at getting your head around the texture editor. I would also recommend, little tip for how I do it, whenever you start editing the file, instead of going straight onto it like Reese is doing now, make a new layer and go onto the new layer.
Yeah, I've got the background and then layer 2 open on mine.
How do I do
Yeah.
that?
So you use the original image as the base layer, and every time you do anything different, like any lining or a different colour, add a new layer on top of the base layer and add it onto that. So you want your new layer you make, Reese, to be transparent. So if you click on the top layer, you select the whole of the image on the actual editor,
Yeah.
and you just delete everything off that image, so you've just got a blank layer.
I have no idea what that means.
Alright, do you want to switch over to my stream and have a quick look?
Yeah.
So it's in Paint, so it's different, but so I've got the file here. So at the side here I have a layers thing. That's the base layer, the background. That's what it appears as when I open it. I then click on add new layer, and then I get a blank layer like that. So you might want to click on the thing at the side and add new layer or something like that. I can't tell you exactly how you do that, but
Add new layer. Yeah.
so you should have an
Transparent.
empty layer you can edit
Fill
then.
with transparency. Okay.
So if you've got that new layer, you should be able to click on that layer and try doing your drawing on that.
It's not letting me.
Probably because you turned the transparency off.
Outline for text. What?
You might be better just using paint.net, you know. At least that way you can copy what I'm doing.
See, Paint.net for me installs the layer as transparent by default.
Yeah,
Right.
I think it's a bit easier to use.
Let's just download that real quick.
I know Ben was saying that he used an older version of GIMP.
Yeah, the new one's basically just a clone of Photoshop, so it's a bit trickier to get your head round, for starting out at least. Right, where am I? What was I doing? That's what I were doing.
Well, that was some midstream entertainment.
Yep. But like I said, it's all a learning curve, and it is
you have
very
to buy it.
difficult. So
I have to buy paint.net.
no, you don't. It's free.
It says I have to buy it.
You want to go to getpaint.net, and you should be able to get it free of charge.
Paint.net 4.2.15 installer. Okay.
Sounds about right.
Like I said, you can't do as much with paint.net as you can do with game, but it's easier. And I think for starting out, it's probably best to start with easy and work up to more detailed.
Having done this, fair play for what you've done with Bahamas and stuff. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't even got going. All I've done is a crappy pink reskin.
Yeah, like I said, it's not easy. But I'm hoping with this that if there's anyone out there who wants to have a go at it, they should be able to watch this and at least then go, right, so...
That's not how to do it.
I'm hoping that it'll give them a starting point at least.
Right.
You know, it shows the train sim side of it like you need to do. But then wrapping your head around the texture editing is something that comes with... shit, I didn't want to do that. Wrapping your head around the texture editing is something that comes with time. So, yeah, you've just got to develop your own personal style with it, really. I didn't even bother pasting it, did I? Well done, Sam.
Even the pros making a mistake.
Oh, I make mistakes all the time. The trick is to notice them before you've done a load of work and then got to go back and go, great, I've got to redo all that now.
Right, so I've actually drawn around all the individual holes. Pretty good. I need to square them off, but...
Right, paint.net. Right, let's try again.
Well, if at first you don't succeed...
Give up. Never attempt it ever again. Right, main.png, right?
Yes.
Open the layer.
Let's quickly flick across. Hey, there we go. So, that's your base layer. If you click on that button at the bottom and add new layer.
Yeah.
Right, you now got layer 2 selected, so you can now try drawing on it. If you have a look at the left, you've got a little bar at the side.
Yeah.
That goes up and down. That bar's got all your tools on it. The bottom one is for shapes, so if you click on that at the very bottom, you can then click at the top and you can do like perfect rectangles, perfect circles, that kind of thing. So if you're wanting to do lining, you can click on that and you'll be able to do it a lot easier than...
now that's what I wanted to achieve.
Yep. And there's people screaming at you about the DDS file, as I nearly would. But, yeah, the way I do it like this, when you use the layers, what you can do is you can just open the DDS file and then you can just paste that on the bottom layer. So, I personally think it's a lot better doing it this way than it is just trying to get through. Scottish Steam Productions asking in my chat a while ago now, sorry I wasn't paying attention. What was the very first thing you reskinned? Believe it or not, it was actually this austerity. It's kind of a rite of passage. I think most reskinners that I know started out on this. Right, let's have a look.
So how would I go around deleting a bit so I can see what was underneath?
On your layer bit at the side, you have the little tick next to it.
Oh, there, yeah.
If you untick that, you'll be able to see them.
Yep, got it. Kind of like... This top bit's quite difficult because it's not quite straight, is it?
Yeah, that's something you've got to learn to contend with. Cancel, I need to keep that open.
So Craig C says, going update your departmental hoppers pack, make it simpler to add into TS 2021. I'm not sure what you mean there, Craig. I will be honest.
Yeah, I've not done any departmental hopper pack either. Yeesh, it was struggling a bit then.
Eh?
Paintwood just having a wobbly on me. There we go, that's back how I wanted it. I've got that bit done. I wanted to duplicate that, add it over the top of that bottom layer. Adjustments, black and white, opacity. Yeah, around about 50.
Haha!
Getting somewhere now, Reese?
Kinda.
Right, that's that bit, that bit, that bit.
Actually,
Writing.
that actually looks quite good. I've just lined out the tank.
Hey, well done.
I'm actually quite proud of that. That looks quite good. I've added a Harry Potter Thunderbolt on the side of it just for the pure shits and giggles. Actually, I want to get rid of that because I have an idea. How do I select that?
Yeah, that'll do.
So any colour that's over black won't be shown, will it?
Yeah.
Right, so...
Is there any way to select an object that you've put down?
You mean like your Thunderbolt thing?
Yeah, because if I go back to it, it like removes all the progress that I've made.
If you click on that little magic wand button,
Yeah.
you should be able to select the part with that, or alternatively, you can just go and select and highlight it and delete it.
Okay, I got rid of it, but there's still like an outline of it.
Yeah, in that case, you probably want to select it and delete it. So if you go with a select thingy, yeah, it's in an open space, so you can. If you go for the rectangular select tool at the top left of that bar, click that and just highlight it so you've got the entire Thunderbolt thing in it, and then just delete.
I got it.
There you go. Right, I need to go back into here and I need to check what we're going to call it. National Codeboard 7B Customer Colliery. Text.
Right, I've made the tank actually red now, so...
That's progress.
Is there any way to edit text?
Yes. Do you mean
Add text.
add text or edit text you've already put down?
Well, I've added text, but I want to make it bigger and move it and stuff.
Up at the top where it's
If
it
you
says
have a
like
look, Reese.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, if you have a look, Reese, that's literally what I'm doing at the moment. Yeah, that'll do.
Oh. I can't move it now.
Yeah, once you've let go of it, it won't let you move it again.
Ah, okay, I got it.
How did your first reskin go, James? His first attempt was a 47. I can't seem to get my text to actually appear. Oh no, hang on a minute. There we go. There we go.
Depends on the colour you're using.
I had something else selected. It's all good.
Right, now I wonder, is there a way to copy and paste it upside down?
Yes, you select it, you copy it, and then you rotate it.
Have you got any ideas on like what fonts to use? Any inspiration?
Entirely up to you. I use Go Sans for a lot of stuff.
Let's go super posh. Joined up writing.
Okay, how do you, like, copy it, Sam?
You select it
How do you
with the
select it?
rectangular select tool.
Yeah.
Highlight it with that, Control C and Control V.
Okay, nothing's happened. Oh, yeah, it has.
Yep, and then you want to rotate it by 90 degrees. And that should allow you to then stick it up the other side of the tank.
How can you rotate?
Click the corners of the box that you have highlighted. If you position your mouse around it, you'll get like a little curved arrow.
I think I'm missing something, yeah, sorry.
Right, if you want to have a look at my stream, once you've got something copied and pasted, if you go to the corner, just around the outside of the corner, you'll get like a little hand with a curved arrow.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
If you use that, you can then use that to rotate it. And if you press shift, it'll rotate it in like fixed increments, so that'll ensure you get it bang on 90 degrees.
Ah, perfect, thanks.
Now the question is, have I made that too big to fit on the tank? Yes. Okay. Hello. Yeah, that needs to go under there.
think I probably should have done something a bit more simple to start with.
But on the other hand, it might be better jumping into the deep end.
Right, let's try something. Because I haven't actually reskinned the thing yet. I've added the lining, but I need to actually put the new livery.
Now, you can make a new layer for that and move it underneath it. So if you make a new layer, you can drag that layer underneath the one you've stuck your lining on and edit it on there.
Okay. There we go, that's more like it.
There we go, looking better now, Reese. Right. That's what I wanted to do, get that positioned.
I could do with text with some form of border, really.
Yeah, you'd have to do that manually.
Right then. So I'm going to need some form of semicircle shape now.
So I noticed Reese has just drawn a big square. I've just gone straight all the way around everything. Which way's right and which way's wrong?
Either works. Yeah, it's entirely up to personal preference. Although Reese's is going to be incredibly bright when he puts it in game, but we won't tell him that yet.
No.
Because obviously there's bits that stick out. I've gone round them.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably will want to go around them.
Is that directed to me or Reese?
Reese.
Ah, right, that's alright.
Yeah, I reckon you've done the right thing going round them.
What do you mean going around?
If you go back to your base layer, you'll see that it's not a square.
I can't go back to it. Why won't it let me go back?
Untick everything, apart from the background layer.
Oh, you have to tick it. Right, okay. So you have to go with all the black?
That's what Sam's saying.
Excuse me.
Which black are we talking about?
Like the holes for the dome and valves and everything.
Oh, right, so... Michael, are you saying that you've gone around them, but Reese has just gone straight over them?
Yes.
Yeah, you can just go straight over them.
Ah, okay.
Oh, it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah, because it's black, there's nothing there.
Right. Okay. That makes my life a lot easier.
Yep.
So even where like the cutouts, you can just completely square them off.
Yeah.
I can't
You
seem
can
to add any shapes anymore.
check what layer you're on.
Layer 3.
Have you got everything?
Have you got the layer ticked? Can you see the layer?
Yeah.
The layer's ticked and you clicked on that layer.
Yeah.
Right, the layer you're on at the moment, I think, is it layer 2 you're on? Layer 3?
Right,
When
I
you
just
tick
ticked
that-
layer 2 and it came up.
Yeah. If you don't have that tick, you won't see what it's doing.
So it's not applying it to layer 3 then?
It'll apply it to whatever layer you have highlighted.
Right, okay. God, there's so many pitfalls.
Yeah, it takes a lot of getting used to. But like the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a day. Right, I'm more or less finished now.
Now you just come and watch what we're doing then, is it?
Yeah, now I get to watch and laugh. I mean, help, definitely help.
Yeah. Of course.
Help, yeah, that's what I meant. So, just this last bit to finish off.
I don't know why my part of my thing has just disappeared.
You've lost a bit?
Yeah, it's just disappeared.
Hmm.
And it doesn't seem that I can, like, add anything new to it.
Right. You haven't, like, accidentally clicked onto another layer or something?
No, I'm selected on the layer.
Right.
Right, it's layer 3. Let's get rid of layer 1 and layer 2. For some reason, that is... Right, okay, I've put something in there. Right. Okay, I'm gonna... I will figure this out.
Okie dokie, that's done and saved.
Right, we want to delete that. Delete. No!
Control and Z is your friend.
It must be layer 2 then. Right. Okay, let's try it like that. Okay. I'm slowly picking up the hang of this software.
Yeah. It's probably the easiest one to get used to.
Okay, now it's deleted part of the background. Oh, for fuck's sake. Why? Delete. Go back, go back.
So for anyone watching my stream now, I've finished my texture editing, so while I'm waiting for Reese and Michael, I'm just going to do a few tweaks to the simulation, which will be completely meaningless to most people watching, I would think. Okie dokie, where does it say that?
That's better. Draw a filled shape. That's what Reese wanted.
Okie dokie. Right.
That's more like it. We're getting there, chaps. We're getting there.
Hey!
I bet there's so many people in the chat who are literally crying while they're watching this.
Yep.
Ah, the lining is actually going alright now. Sam, I'm getting it.
Hey!
I think it's actually going alright. Yeah. That went well.
Was that sarcasm there, or...?
Ah, no, it just went wrong.
Right, and if I click play, it should magically change colour now.
Right now, in theory, I should be able to just fill you with pink.
Which it has.
Oh,
Hey.
hell yeah. Oh, mate.
How did you manage that? I can't seem to get a circle on that bit.
Okay, good night, love. My
Good
wife's
night,
going-
Reese.
she's
Love you
going-
too.
No, my
Hugs and kisses.
wife's going to bed. She said, "You carry on like the saddos you are."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Right, I should make this one a bit thinner, 3. And if I extend the black inside lining,
Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna finish up and then I'll go back over how to do it when you guys are ready.
I'm starting to get an idea of making the lining now. I'm not going to spend too much time doing it though, because I'm just doing something basic. Genuinely, I don't think I had an appreciation of how to do this, or how much time actually goes into learning how to
It's a
do
lot,
this.
isn't it?
Right, I need It'd be nice if I could just make a line, a straight line, rather than...
You can.
How?
Hold shift while you're drawing a line.
Hold shift.
I think it's shift.
No, that didn't work.
Yeah, there is above the draw shapes tool next to the text tool.
Ah, okay.
There is a line drawing button. If you click that and draw a line, if you hold shift while doing it, that should let you draw a straight line. Hey, there she is. Very nice, if I do say so myself.
Well, that's just showing off, isn't it, really? For the people on my stream, that's what Sam's created. There you go.
Oh, I'm not finished yet.
Well, no. How long did that take you then?
Well, that file, I started that file at the same time as you two, but I have been helping you with it, so... But I was using a template I'd already made to get all the lining and everything in the right position.
Yeah, that's cheating.
I've got my nameplates on it now as well, so now I need to put the yellow vac pipes on instead of the bright red ones. And rename the engine.
So I've just done the tank, the dome, and the front of the saddle.
Yep.
Is there any other bits I need to do?
Anything you want to do. There are, on that texture file, if you have a look at the top right hand corner, there's some sort of orangey bits, which are the safety valves and whistle.
Oh yeah.
You may want to edit them, or you may want to just leave them.
I think I'll just leave them.
Yeah, in that case, I think you're pretty much ready.
I think I'm as good as ready.
Yeah, that's my creation so far.
I'm not expecting wonderful things, but I hope it works out.
It should do. So I think it's just you we're waiting on now, Michael.
Oh, goody.
No pressure, Michael. while we're waiting, I'll just mess around a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you could have another go at one of the other texture files if you wanted to.
No, I'm not going to push it.
What did I name him? I think we were under Ian, or they might have been under Fred. Let's have a look. Ian. It's not under there. Is it under there? Not under there.
So I'm guessing the dome cover doesn't need lining on it or anything, does it?
Nah.
It's a straight circle on that.
I've done a little bit of lining, but to be honest, I don't know what part of that is going to be seen and what part's not going to be seen.
No, I did wonder that as well.
Right, I'm gonna have to go find them bits.
The front cover and the dome cover are very close together.
Yeah, which makes it quite tricky, doesn't it, to get the colours right without overlapping?
Yeah. It's gonna have to be manually painted, is that, I think?
Yep. But it's only taken an hour or so to do one file.
Only.
Oh yeah, that's quick going. You know the Bahamas reskin?
Yeah.
It's taken me literally 4 or 5 weekends to do one file on that.
Nice.
That's working Saturday and Sunday.
So what's these things between the dome cover and the actual water tank? There's like 2 very tiny things.
I'm not entirely sure. I think it's like the little rim that goes around it.
Ah.
Extra parts, child object, vac pipes yellow. File, save as.
How did your first nameplate go, James? I'm guessing that's a whole different ballpark. Let's go down here. That's a bit too big.
What's wrong with a pink austerity? Nothing.
I think a more appropriate question would be what isn't wrong with it.
What isn't?
That would be easier to explain. What's the big circle at the top for again?
That's the dome.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the big one at the top's the dome, the little one at the bottom is the water tank cover, the water cap.
Alright. It's not looking too bad, is it, James, for a first go, anyway?
I was going to say, considering I've never reskinned a loco before, I'm actually quite proud of it so far.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a lot of it is just practice. Yeah, you can't really expect to be good at it on your first go.
No.
Especially if you don't know the texture editor.
What kind of colour would like a handle for a dome be?
Up to you. You're the one painting it.
I know, that's the issue. Brass colour.
Home Duke fan has just donated $2 New Zealand and said, "I like what you put on the wheel. Thank you very much, Home Duke fan 12."
Bugger.
Right. Oh, that's the dome cover. That doesn't need a handle for a dome. Let's move that down there. Actually, the hardest part for me was actually sorting them files out.
Yeah, but that bit gets... Well, they both get easier as you do it, but... So I should hopefully make the vac pipes the right colour. But there is one way to find out. That red vac pipe at the front there should magically become yellow. I hope. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. That means I've probably not changed it to the right fin in here. Yeah, now I know what it is. While I'm in Scenario Editor, I'm going to have a look and see what nameplates I've got to play with.
Right, are we almost ready?
Yeah, I'm not too far off now, actually.
Alright.
Yep. For anyone wondering, this loco here was my first attempt at a reskin for Train Simulator. So, for everyone saying goodbye Burt layer and all that lot, yep, that's true, but if you thought it looks bad now, look what it was before. So, yeah, my latest reskin of the Austerity and my first one. I like to think I've just added in just enough of that original Burt layer to get away with it without making it look like it's completely fucked and worn.
What colour do I want that? And another one this side. And then one here. The issue is actually not knowing which bits are which. Actually, trying to work out where it's going to go.
Yeah, and it gets really fun when you try and do anything that involves rivets.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, rivets are not good. In fact, I'm going to stick with that in the same plate and I'm going to rename it on there. Just because I don't really have room anywhere else.
God, I'm just reading about was it King Edward's 6024's Gaunt on the main line in March 1992. God. They were approaching Old Oak Common on the end of a rail tour, travelling at a speed of 15 to 20 miles an hour, and then they struck a bridge and ripped the safety valve clean off.
Yeah.
So this was the second time a King had actually done that. The first was actually number 6000, not far from where I live.
Moral of the story, Great Western engines are fat.
Well, tall.
Fat.
Tall. Oh, let me guess. If it was an LMS engine, it wouldn't have hit the bridge, would it?
Well, of course not.
No.
And if it was Southern, it wouldn't have set off, is that right?
Yep.
If it was LMS, it wouldn't have... I don't know where
Well,
I'm going with that.
Great Western locos have a reputation for taking out the infrastructure. Southern locos have a reputation for not doing anything. L&ER locos have a reputation for breaking down, so there's only LMS that's left.
You missed the trick there, Sam. You could have just said the LMS would... If an LMS loco struck the bridge, it would have taken the bridge with it. Rather than...
No, that's industrial locos.
Oh, if it was national... If it was Nunlo, it would have just ripped a big hole through the bridge, like...
Nah, Nunlo was part of the bridge. Nunlo had like an inch of cement on the roof.
Oh, part of the crew, part of the ship.
Right, what did I want to call this one? I wanted to call it... Jeffrey. Jeffrey the engine.
I will honestly never look at a reskin the same again. That's all I can say. Is that who's dinging? Is that...
That was me dinging.
Oh, that would be me dinging. Oops.
Right then, are we almost ready?
I will be in 2 minutes, and then I'll be done.
Alright.
I have no idea how this is going to look, but you know.
It probably look terrible, but you know.
Oh, that's optimism right there. That's normal Keithley optimism that we've come to expect from you. How's it gonna look? It's gonna look terrible.
Well, you know, if I say that and it does, then you know everyone's expecting it. But if I say that and it's brilliant, then it's like woohoo!
Oh, there you are. Start at 0 and you can only get better from there.
Strategic pessimistic-ism.
Strategic pessimism.
That's the one.
Oh, that's the wrong colour. click black down the middle to make sure that none of it overlap.
I think really going from what I've done so far with this reskin, I really just need to have a good sit down with this program.
Yeah.
Get familiar with how to use it.
I mean, luckily I've used Paint.net for a few years, on and off, and not reskinning, but kind of using it, so I sort of know my way around it.
So for everyone watching, we're just waiting for Michael to finish his reskin. He's nearly done, I think.
Yeah, just doing like one last wavy line, because they're fun to do, by the looks of it. Oh, that's annoying as well. When you end up at the end of the page, it just shoots off in a straight line.
Yeah.
I was thinking, seeing out if I could add anything, but we'll see what that looks like for now.
Right, so you ready?
I think so.
Right, he's ready.
Right, he's ready. Let me just finish off with that.
What's his name has just come into my stream.
Oh, lovely.
I've forgotten his name. Hang on, let me just check his group chat. His name is... It's not Ben, it's the other chap.
Oh, Jared.
That's it, that's his name. He's come in, he says, "Sorry I didn't make it, slept through my alarm."
Yeah, no worries. We know it's early for you down in Upside Down land.
He says, "You should ask Sam for a laugh about how to add the bake layer back."
Do you know what? I'm glad he mentioned that, because I'm going to show you that.
Oh, God.
Oh dear me.
You've little faith, jeez. Right. I suppose I better do something now, hadn't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
See, I've got distracted and I've got shit everywhere. I'll resize that just so I've got it large. Right, so when you've got your texture sheet and you've finished all your reskinning, you need to flatten it to get rid of all the layers.
Right.
But before you do, save it. So click on File, Save As, whatever you want to call it, but make sure you save it as a Paint.net file. You save it as that because that includes all of the layers then. So if you want to go back and edit it, you can go back and edit it properly. So once you've saved it,
Type.paint.net.
yeah, it should save as a Paint.net file anyway. It's a PDN file.
Okay.
Once you've done that, hey, there we go. Once you've done that, you want to press Control Shift and F,
Control Shift F. Ooh.
and that'll flatten it.
That looks a bit more tidier.
Yep. Now, this is where I normally do things, again, completely differently to how everyone else does it, and other reskinners will shout at me for it. So I'm just quickly having an experiment to check something here. Yeah, that looks about right, I guess. Okay, so now you want to go back and open up your DDS file.
Where?
The one from your reskin folder.
Main1.dds.
The one that's really transparent.
Yes.
Where do I open that?
open it in paint.net.
Yep.
Do I add layer or just open it as a new?
If you just
Open it.
click it, it should open in a different window.
Okay.
Yeah. And then once you've opened it, add a new layer onto it.
Add a new layer. Hang on. Yep.
Then go back to the PNG file you were reskinning.
Yep.
Select the entire fin with the rectangular select tool.
Oh, control A.
Yep.
Yep.
Copy it. Go back onto the new layer on the DDS file
Yep.
and paste it. Then drag it so that the DDS file is on the top.
Yeah. Oh,
Then select the entire fin and make sure you've got the DDS file layer selected and not the other one.
yep.
Then go on adjustments and black and white.
Adjustments, black and white.
Nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
It did, you just couldn't see it.
Okay.
Okay. I've never seen it might not be noticeable, but okay.
Yeah, it will have done it. So, what you've done there is you've added the bait layer back onto it for everyone who was shouting at you about, oh, you've got rid of the bait layer. So now you just need to save it, but if you save it as it is, your transparency is going to be all over the place.
Okay.
Now, this is the bit where you need to use like GIMP or Photoshop or something to preserve that. However, I don't do that. So you want to press Ctrl Shift and F again.
Yep.
So like it flattens it. You then want to press F4 and it'll bring up a layer properties window.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't got that yet. It's thinking about it. Yep, got that.
Once you get that window, you've got an opacity bar at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yep.
The opacity is how shiny it appears in game. So if you have it on 255, it'll be like maximum reflection and it'll look absolutely awful. I usually use around about 30 to 50 for mine. For the reskin I've done, I've set mine at 40 for that, if you want to have a look at the stream and see what that looks like.
I've just done the same 40.
Which I think 40 is a nice one. You've got a bit of shine on there, it looks nice and clean, but it's not in your face.
Yeah.
Mine goes really bright, is that right?
Yeah, when you adjust that, it should make your it should basically make everything you've done disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah. So once you've done that, you want to click File and Save As.
File, save as. Yep.
Now, this is a bit where you need to go back to RS Bin Tool. And in RS Bin Tool, in the window where you opened up the texture file, in the bottom left-hand corner, it should say Compression, and then underneath that, Format.
Hang on. Whoa. Hang on. Say all that again. All that bit about RS Bin Tool. I've got RS Bin Tool open.
Yep, so, right, you need to open up the file again. So we've edited main 1, so if you want to go find main 1 again.
In RS Bin Tool.
Yep.
Open Sers file.
Yep.
And then main 1, the one that I haven't saved that other one, mind.
Yep, I know.
Okay.
What we're going to do now is we're going to re-import the file.
Can't find anything.
Yeah, you need to go into, not into the folder where you exported it, but the folder where you got it from. So, the
Right.
folder in your assets folder.
Right, so we're still in RS bin tool, yeah? Where
Yeah.
we're saving the paint.net thing actually first.
So
We're not yet.
So it's main
We're not-
one,
alright.
TG, PCDX,
Yep.
open.
Yep.
Yeah, I got that.
Now, when it brings up that window, in the bottom left-hand corner of that window, you've got compression and format.
Where'd you see that? Oh, yeah, I see it.
Do you see that, Michael?
Yeah, underneath change name.
Yep. So, now you go back into paint.net. You click
Yep.
your file you save as. You want to save it as a DDS file, so save as type, DDS.
Yeah.
When you click save,
What do you want to save as?
the name,
Yeah.
call it something like main one complete.
Complete. Complete, like we've completed it properly, yeah.
Yeah, totally what we've done.
Yeah.
You then click save.
Good spelling there, Sam.
Yeah. And it brings up a window with save configuration.
Yeah.
Yep.
The very top box on the left, you want to click that, and you want to match that DXT with the DXT it said on RS bin tool in the bottom left.
So I want DXT3, yeah?
You want DXT3, yeah. Mine's different because I've upscaled the textures, so it's a different texture file
Is
it's
it
working from.
Linear DXT3,
Yep.
BC2.
Yeah, BC2 linear DXT3.
Right.
You want it to generate cube maps and generate mip maps.
So I'll have them both ticked, yeah?
Yep, have them both ticked. And then you want to press OK. And that will save it.
Yep.
You then go back into RS bin tool, into that main one file that you've got open.
Yep.
Click on DDS tool and import DDS data.
Yep. And then click the complete one, yeah?
Find your complete one.
Open it.
And open it. It should say data successfully imported.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you have a look, that window should flash to your texture that you've made.
Oh, it should. Yeah, it is. That's quite clever, actually.
You'll then want to click on File at the top left, Save
Yep.
As, and then you want to find the file that was the original one that you copied. So,
Into Steam and then Castle Mode, whatever you called it.
yeah, then your engine folder, and you want to find that main one file.
Yep.
You want to click Save when you've got that highlighted.
Yep.
And when it asks you to when it asks if you want to replace it, you want to click yes.
We're getting to the important bit now, aren't we?
Once you've clicked yes, it's time for the big reveal.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So
God,
now we go back into Train Simulator. And we load up our scenario, if you've not already got it open.
I shut down Train Sim.
I've still
Yep.
got it open, so...
Right, so if you've still got it open, you'll want to pause the game, and you'll want to go into World Editor, and then into Scenario Editor.
So I'm currently in Scenario Editor because I've just tabbed out. So I'll
Right.
start and then go
In
back
that
in.
case, no, you don't need to. In that case, Michael, all you need to do is press play.
Oh dear. I'm going to be the first to reveal. Oh dear.
Right, give us a second, I'm going to find your stream so I can watch this.
Hey, that's not bad.
New tab.
I'm going to hide away.
Watch your fin, twitch.rail/rail advent, something like that.
It is nice and simple.
I'll just Google it. Rail advent Twitch, that'll do. Start watching.
Let me know when you're in.
Ah! I'm in.
Are you in?
I'm looking at your stream, your beautiful stream.
Can you see an engine or not yet?
No, I can see a lamppost.
Oh, good. I've exited our train sim. Well done. Do you want to come and have a look, Reese, or
Can you send a link?
Sam send him a link for me?
There you are, Reese. I've dropped you a lot on Facebook.
Streamlabs has decided it's going to just go to bed.
Well, it is getting late.
It's going, your stream's experiencing issues. I have no idea what for. Oh, I think somebody's just seen it. Oh, well done for a first attempt. Hey.
Right, I'm looking at a siding.
That's good. Okay, I'm going to reveal in whatever. You can count down if you like.
Oh, just go for it, Michael. Just go for it.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
7.
3, 2, 1. Got it. Ooh, hello.
It's not bad.
Very nice.
It's a lot better than I was expecting.
Fair dues, that's come out quite good.
It's not bad, is that, Michael?
I'm actually quite pleased with that.
So, as you can see, for all the doubters as well, look, there's still a bake layer on it.
I've no idea what a bake layer is, so we're going to go with that.
Basically, your bake layer means it's not all block colour.
Oh, that's alright. Yeah, I can see that now. It's
You've got like that. Yeah. Which is something which I removed from my reskins.
That looks quite good,
I
actually.
added my own substitute.
I'm dreading the reveal of mine now.
So yeah, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. And
I
like
mean, the line's gone mean up, but Christ, that's not too bad.
it's good for your first go, is that? So now you've just got the rest of the loco to do.
Oh yeah, just casually do the rest of the loco.
But what I would suggest, now you've got it done for the first time, if you have a look at the front, you can see where all the lining matches up and where it doesn't.
Yeah, it just needs moving up a little bit, doesn't it?
Huh.
Yeah, so you just need to adjust the lining now so that it fits properly. But that's something even I've got to do with mine. If you have a look at mine, the lining clips off the corner of the tank there at the front.
Oh,
so
yeah, I can see
that too.
Well,
I'm happy with that.
that could have gone a lot worse than that.
Have you got yours in, Reese?
I have.
Hey!
Hey, that's not bad. It's bright, but
It's actually come out a lot better than I was expecting.
There you go.
I mean, alright, the lining on the very front part doesn't quite line up. But I can work.
So, this is my proof that for all the people out there who go, "Oh, Sam, you get rid of the bait layer." This is my proof that even idiots that don't know what they're doing can follow my texturing method and still get a good looking reskin.
you end up with a face in you.
There's literally people in the chat saying it's bringing tears to their eyes. Yeah, tears of sorrow and sadness.
Tears of despair.
But
yeah,
good though.
Yeah.
Does this make me a developer now?
That's it. Congratulations, you're no longer just YouTubers.
Hooray!
It's going to update his Facebook profile, developer.
Yep, TS developer.
But yeah, so there you go, guys. That's how you reskin.
And even a bit on the top.
And anyone can do it.
I saw you putting that in, and I was like, I'm going to keep quiet on that.
Yeah, I noticed it too, and yeah.
It was worth it. It was totally worth it. Do you know what? At some
It's
point...
alright until you get into over the hills, and I'm just going to have that somewhere but not tell you.
Yeah, it's just going to be revealed in an actual episode. It's just some little...
You know, you were saying about the planned like blooper reel thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick that in without telling you.
Nice. Well, do you know what? For my first ever reskin, I'm quite happy with how that's come out.
Yeah.
All
Like I
right.
said,
It's
it's
not entirely realistic. And
no.
once I get a bit more familiar with the program, like I was using it, and as I was using it, I was thinking, oh, do you know what? I could do this, I could do that. So, yeah, it's a little bit fiddly to get the hang of, but I got there.
You did.
Yeah, paint.net looked a lot easier to use than GIMP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there you go, chaps. How to reskin.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much for the tutorial, as it was.
That's quite all right. Hopefully, I mean, anyone who's watching in the chats, let us know what you think. Let us know if you'd want to have a go. If it's been helpful, if it's been educational.
I mean, obviously we haven't done a full loco here. There's other things you'd have to do, but we
Nope.
wanted to just get through the whole process within, what, 2.5 hours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do the rest of it, all you do is exactly the same thing, just with the other texture files.
Yeah.
As long as you replace them like for like, it'll work. So, what I would suggest is that you and Michael have a go at finishing your reskins,
Yeah.
just as and when you want. But once you've got them done, let me know, and can stick them up for download.
You'll speak to your download manager, will you, Sam?
Yep.
Eventually, I would like to see this released just for the pure shits and giggles.
Well, that's it. If nothing else, it'll be a good novelty thing, won't it?
So you know that I, flattened all the layers and stuff earlier.
Yep.
Would I be able to go back and edit it again?
That's why you saved it as a paint.net file. So if you go back to the bit where you saved that as a PDN, and if you open up that PDN file...
Oh, right, okay, so then I could open it and then I'd have to re-import it again.
Well, if you go back, just give it a go. Go back and open that PDN file, and you can see that if you open that, you should have all your layers there.
Yeah, I see it.
So, because you've got all your layers there, then you can make any changes. So, like, if your lining around the that front of the tank doesn't quite line up, you can then go back on your layers and edit that again.
Yeah.
And you flatten it again, add the bait layer again, and then save it again, and keep doing that until you get it right.
There we go.
So, I'm going to go this evening and just tweak that little corner of the lining and make sure that works properly. But yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
That is a very rough guide of how to do a reskin.
Yep.
So chaps, get your get paint.net and everything that you need and get reskinning. Just give it a go. And as Sam said earlier on, as long as you copy and paste that folder and then rename it, as long as you don't delete it or write over the wrong one, you can't really go wrong. And if you do go wrong, just delete it, start again.
Yeah. If any of you have a go, drop a message to Blastpipe Productions or Angry Welshman Productions. We'd love to see your results.
Hell yeah. I'm going to stick a face on him just for good for measure.
Right, well, I'm going to stop my stream at that, so thank you everyone for watching, and good night.
Good night, Sam. I'll be finishing the stream in just a moment as well. I'll just put a face on it.
What?
Great. Goodbye, stream.
Right, I'm going to bid everyone good night on my stream. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been quite a long one there, but I think we did quite well. We ended up with something that looks decent enough. So hopefully I'll see you all next week for some more simulations. But until now, have a good weekend and I'll see you all later.
And since everybody is signing off and saying goodnight, I will bid my viewers also a good night, and Thank you for watching. Rate, comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you in a week's time, possibly, for the next live stream. Thank you, and good night, everyone.